Hand-painted hand grenades. Get on the waiting list at alphachannel.games. We're only going to do 100 of these, so reserve yours today. These are going to be fun. There's a Banksy painting where he's showing a guy with a briefcase and a suit and a sign that says 0% interest in people. And that's the problem people have with marketing and salespeople, is that they're not, yeah, you're trying to solve a gap or a problem for the company or the consumer, but your interest is fleeting. So I want the interest here is, this is what I'm doing. The interest isn't fleeting because the journey is the destination. Hey guys, this is John with the Alpha Channel Games update for Sunday, May 26, 2024. There's a few things I want to talk about. First, I want to show off some of the artwork I was working on today and yesterday. So this is Warren. Yesterday, this was just blue line, but I spent some time doing pencils, adding pencils to it. And here's another one that yesterday were just blue lines. And these are going to go along with these two other pages. As a matter of fact, I don't know if you even saw this at all yesterday. I don't know that this was done. So this is when Warren crashes. This is going to get penciled tonight, maybe tomorrow. Tomorrow being Memorial Day, this update's going to be a little late. Probably won't get uploaded until late Monday morning. So this is the second bit after Warren crashes. These are all basically the second page of the comic. Second, third page. These are going to be what I'm calling Hemingways or Singletons, single page comics. So yes, that's where the artwork's at. The other thing I want to show off, hand-painted hand grenades. Get on the waiting list at alphachannel.games. We're only going to do 100 of these, so reserve yours today. These are going to be fun. And I showed off the art. I'm going to make these really short as I can. So, Legacy of a Mad Scientist. Check out Legacy of a Mad Scientist here on YouTube. 13 hours of the best science fiction you've ever heard. Audiobooks. Downloadable at Smashwords, and you can buy a paperback at Amazon. Doing commercials is tougher than it looks. We also have Legend of Ashley Fox here on YouTube. 13-hour audiobook, science fiction, about a young girl who takes on a gang of serial killers running an orphanage in the future. Check it out right here. You can download it for free on Smashwords, or you can buy a paperback at Amazon.com. I want to talk about the choice to do toxic masculinity in the first place. So this is a comic for Elric. Elric is the original, he's the prototype for The Witcher and a couple other characters in popular media. It was a series of novels written by a guy named Michael Moorcock in England in the 60s and 70s. And really what happens, the quick spoiler is that this sword right here is called Stormbringer. Right down here, it's a black sword. And it is living metal. And it wants blood. Blood for the blood gods is a popular refrain in the Elric saga. And it's really magnificent. It influenced a lot of the other stuff that you have seen and read and heard about. Now, The Witcher is unique in its own right because that writer, whose name I'm spacing on, is really difficult to pronounce. He took old fairy tales and introduced Geralt of Rivia as a character in those stories, like Beauty and the Beast and etc. and etc. Here's another Elric cover. These are just magnificent comics and magnificent stories. The novels were really incredible. What was incredible about the novels, see what this says up here, Stormbringer, that's the name of the sword. This big black sword right here in the center of the book. And Stormbringer, I'm going to spoil a lot of stuff for you guys really quick here. If you haven't read the novels or read the comics, Stormbringer is Excalibur. It's living metal. It's also the symbiote from X-Files and Venom. It's really, that's the concept. It's living metal. It's a different life force. It's metal imbued with spirit. And the reason I bring that up is that plays a big part in my novels, especially the first one, Legacy of a Mad Scientist, because that's also what I've written. I've written about a metal called beryllium that's used as the anti-gravity material to power buildings and vehicles. But one fellow, Dr. Andrew Fox, he discovers how to use beryllium as a mental computer interface where you can talk to the metal and use it as an external storage drive for your head, and it can also connect you directly to doubles for the internet in the future. So this piece of metal here could become anything, and it's sentient, but it's sentient like a tree. Not like T-1000, not like Skynet. It doesn't have an agenda. It does have an agenda, but its agenda is learning and not conquering. That's really sort of a human kind of agenda. And that's what I want to talk about as a writer and as an author, as a brand manager, which is what I'm trying to do with Alpha Channel here and the hand-painted hand grenades. The whole idea with this is to offer something that no one else is giving you, but also be consistent and to go where, look, I've been watching this series, Popcorn in Bed, this girl named Cassie, as she watches a bunch of action movies that she's never seen before. It's entirely possible that they haven't seen them. It's entirely possible that these are first watches. What is unique is the girl's reactions to a lot of things that guys take for granted. Like, say, for example, when I wrote for Marvel, back in one of these earlier, I said I'd written for them for about 18 months. I think it was a lot shorter than that. I think it was probably closer to 8 months, maybe 10 months, but not 18. 8 to 10 months I wrote for them, and I was submitting pitches and then waiting to hear back, and submit another pitch and wait to hear back. I thought they were idea farming, which a big company has to do. But one of the notes that I got was, we no longer have fights for no reason. I'd written a scene where Peter Parker gets bullied by some kids in New York in an alley. And the editors were like, no, we can't have that. And I was like, well, clearly these are female editors who've never grown up as a young male, because most of your fights happen for no reason. All the fights happen for no reason. The reasons are ridiculous. The reasons are absurd. So if you don't get that, that's why comics have such a problem right now. This is why all of entertainment media has such a problem right now. So Elric, they got this right in this story. But this is a thing where you had a single author, a single mind produced this work of art. So that's key. That's important. And when too many cooks spoil the broth, as they say. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up is because I am doing this brand, and in order to get what you've never had, you have to do what you've never done. So I am taking a risk. I am going out on a limb here. What I'm really asking for is for you to check out my novels. The risk's already been taken. I'm committed. This is who I am as a writer. I wrote what I wanted to write. I wrote what made me happy. And I know there's got to be some people out there who still appreciate this kind of stuff. So I mentioned that we're going to limit these to 100. We're going to limit the hand-painted hand grenades to 100. I don't know that they're all going to be this style. I have 4 here. I have 4 of these to start with. And I have a bunch of glow paint. So check this out. I have all this glow powder and also some neon paint. And I know that you can mix glow powder into paint and it will retain its color and then glow. So I'm thinking I'm going to do that with some of these, where we paint them black, but then the black will glow. And so this bit, the explosion, would actually be in black against a glowing background, parts of it, which could be really cool. I'm looking forward to trying that out and seeing how I can make that work. And we're going to do the logo. See, there's a pink one in here. So I can even make pink paint glow, possibly, and do that for the logo, or magenta paint, or whatever we're going to use, maybe even red. So hand-painted hand grenades, non-toxic, toxic masculinity. That's really the idea. So I've been watching 9 Club. I watch a lot of YouTube, as people do these days. Really, I just watched today YouTube Skate Park League, hosted by Joe Fields, Gifted Hater. That was magnificent. So yeah, and I was mentioning that I've been watching the 9 Crew, who people call the nice crew, and they had pointed out that they don't do negative criticism. If it's negative, they just keep it to themselves, because there's too much of that. out there. And so that's part of toxic masculinity. We're not going to do infighting and we're not going to punch down, which doesn't leave us with a lot of targets except ourselves. So we're going to spend our time at Alpha Channel improving ourselves instead of talking shit about other people. When you negate punching down and you're on top already, that means you don't criticize others. It's that simple. And if you're not going to do negative criticism of anyone, not even of each other, then all we have to do is build each other up. And that's a decent focus for right now. It seems like the world could maybe do with some more of that. Maybe there's a way to make that toxically masculine. David Goggins, Jocko Willink, I think people would even go so far as to call Alex Hormozy toxically masculine. So I don't think it's going to be a problem. But the reason I'm doing this is tickets and merch are what really promote a brand. And so we're, going to do merch first. Tickets, this is all free right now. The tickets are, buy the ticket, take the ride. Check out the audiobooks. We are doing these, but no one needs a gold-plated radio flyer. And so I heard this a long time ago. I think this was at a Ray Reynolds speech. I'm sure he's still out giving speeches like 30 years later. But no one needs a gold-plated radio flyer wagon. Deliver up to the necessary level. Part of this whole branding thing, part of why I'm doing this is that the journey is the destination. Okay? There's a Banksy painting where he's showing a guy with a briefcase and a suit and with a sign that says 0% interest in people. And that's the problem people have with marketing and salespeople, is that they're not, you're trying to solve a gap or a problem for the company or the consumer, but your interest is fleeting. So I want the interest here this is what I'm doing. The interest isn't fleeting because the journey is the destination. And the journey and the destination are how do you not allow yourself to be victimized when everyone's declaring you to be a victimizer. That is an attack, right? So if you're a victimizer, they are victimizing you. See, it's kind of like this Skynet, Sarah Connor, Terminator bit, where once they accuse you of a thing, you're guilty of it. And by defending yourself, you're only more guilty of it. So if you're going to be attacked for being toxically masculine, how do you be that with a smile? Say, yes, I am. Would you like to buy a hand-painted hand grenade? Yes, Alpha Channel Games is toxically masculine. Come out and buy a hand-painted hand grenade. Visit our website at alphachannel.games and reserve yours today. If you do one thing the way you do everything, and you refuse to grow, and you refuse to tackle things that you're not good at, and you refuse to fail, you have to fail to get better. You have to fail to get better. That's the only way. That's the only way through. So weakness requires support. Yeah, everyone wants to have a single slab of marble for their kitchen, but weakness requires support. If you can't get there on your own, it's not yours. Does that make sense? Caesar's soldiers, some of the soldiers in Caesar's first legions had spent 14 years without a roof, out in the wild, in campaigns, at war. What are you doing? What are you doing if you have to have marble countertops everywhere you go, and you can't stay in a hotel room that has grout and tiles? You can't support that. You're not Conan. I promise you're not a king. Only kings get to demand that kind of treatment, and there's very few of them who would. A man with that level of discipline doesn't require that level of service. He provides that level of service. It's an entirely different mindset. The Alpha Channel mindset, strength, as a matter of fact, this is what I've written down. Weakness requires support. Strength offers support. You can only have a slab of granite in your kitchen because stronger guys than you cut it from the quarry and moved it to your house. You need marketing and sales skills. You don't need marketing and sales people. You need to go acquire those skills. Every company has a sales department, There's not one university that offers a degree in sales. AlphaChannel.games. We don't offer a degree in sales either. But we're very conscious of what we're selling. I am selling you back your pride. If you're not proud of who you are, this is my promise to you right now. If you're not proud of who you are, subscribe, like and subscribe to this channel, and I can help you get there. Because I have been through all of it. If I can do it, anyone can. And you can do it on your own. You don't need a crowd of people around you. You don't. You can do it on your own. If you can't do it on your own, you don't have it anyhow. I think that's good for today. All right, love you guys.